Hey everyone, it's Paul, and I'd just like to take a moment here to add a reaction to some of the videos that I've been catching a lot lately online. I know recently I've been doing some videos about Chitubox, and I saw that there's been some posted, one of them calling out Chitubox systems about their locking down of the systems and how, we should, all grab our pitchforks and our torches and kind of just take to the streets to have them change it. And I don't know, just as a designer, as a person who works a lot in a lot of different industries, it kind of struck me as a little weird that somebody who is such an enthusiast with all the 3D printing and equipment and software out there that they would be so just like angry, So I just wanted to kind of talk about a little bit about my thoughts on this process. And I think the biggest one that I want to actually discuss is that like the Chitubox system, just much like any system, Apple had a big release yesterday, and with their AR VR goggles, and they're in the exact same position. They have a proprietary software system, and they extensively test it like any company would, and they make sure that it works well on the systems that they are integrated for. And while I know a lot of different 3D printing manufacturers use the Chitu system, um, I don't think personally it's Chitu's personal responsibility to make sure that every single one of their products, third-party products, work seamlessly with their boards. They ship the boards out to other 3D print designers or printer designers so that they can then utilize that hardware inside their machines to make sure that their software works with it. One of the big call outs yesterday was, or on that the videos that I saw a couple days ago, was that the lockdown of Wi-Fi. Now, as me personally, I can't trust my machines enough to use the Wi-Fi only. I mean, it's good to send it over there and such, but it's not that important. So I really had to kind of dig into it to find out, like, what's the beef that's going on here. I'm a big 3D print enthusiast, and so I was like, what is going on? And I think that they have a valid point in that they would ideally like to have a lot of, or every machine have the capability that is moving forward, where everybody, instead of having to use SD cards or USB drives, that they just be able to send their files wirelessly over to their machines. And I get that that is kind of like where things are heading. And to call out a company about locking it down and how we should, rally and eliminate that company altogether is kind of a lot. I mean, so much so that that company, Chitubox, actually released a statement saying, we're not the ones who actually did this, and that it actually came down to the other printer manufacturers locking it down. They left it open, and it's the companies themselves that are not allowing that access. And I just think that let's take a step back. I mean, we're very much in a position these days where it's like, I don't like something, let's just rally our troops and scream to have them taken down. We want heads to roll, and I just think we need to kind of take a minute, take a step back, and just kind of think about, like, what's truly going on here. What's the actual process, and are we really at a huge detriment because we didn't get that one thing that we really want? I mean, I understand you can be upset that you didn't get the thing that you wanted. There's lots of things that I wanted as a kid for Christmas, but I didn't get them, and I couldn't ask for Santa's head to roll because I was upset about it. I could be upset, but I just think we need to take these types of platforms and use them creatively. Another thing is like, it's their software, it's their boards, and I know that they ideally want. I mean, it's everywhere. Their boards are in so many different machines. Why would they want to like bite the hand that feeds them? Why would you want to purposefully make something so difficult? Now, I know that I'm probably going to get some flack on this one, that they're, when they came out with the Jupiter, Elegoo came out with the Jupiter, they're like, oh, you got to use the Chitubox Pro. And we know with the Mars Pro, when it came out, it's like, oh, we're going to lock it down so you can only use this type of file format and whatever. And yeah, I get that. But, Apple does the same thing. And yes, people pitchfork about Apple as well. Or, like Tesla does the same thing, or BMW. Everybody's got the proprietary stuff. And as a company, if you just give away everything, what does that leave you with? Now, I know that they are selling their boards to these printer companies, and these other printer companies have to use what they are given and kind of make the best of the situation, and it's not all open source, because why would you make all of your stuff open source? But they've got to make the best of what they are given. But to be so angry about something that, when in fact the information was wrong. It's like we didn't have all the information. It's like we're given snippets. It's like right now with Apple VR AR, to say that, well, how is it they're not letting me do my Skyrim VR? I'm like, well, we don't know for sure if they are. And I just think that we need to just like kind of take a minute and just breathe. It's just one of those. It's just one of those situations in which I think we got ahead of ourselves. We got a little excited, we got a little anxious, and got ahead of ourselves. And unfortunately, on the internet, that ball can roll downhill very quickly, and it can gain a lot of steam. And I just want to say, I'm not going to call out anybody specifically. I just want to say, I think as Mike, like every world, every cosmos that you deal with in your career, it doesn't matter what you do for a living, is infinitely smaller than you think it is. And I think, especially with 3D printing and the additive manufacturing, like world that we live in, be it FDM, be it SLA, be it all of the different versions that we have, it's a small world. And I think that we shouldn't be so quick to come to pitchforks and torches. We should be angry, but if that anger, let that anger lead to discussion. Not it's not right to sit there and just like call for heads. It's like we can discuss things, we can talk about it, we can compromise, we can and I know we need to yell to be heard, but we don't. It is a small, insular little world here, especially with 3D printing and such. And so I think, if we just take a moment to, just breathe, have a discussion, instead of being like, hey, we need to not, everybody should switch boards, move over to something else. Why don't we say, hey, is this something that is possible? Why, ask the question, wait for the reply. But I also know that, this is social media, and this is, you got to get the views, you got to get the clicks, you got to get people excited, and, bad news sells better than good news. So just, sometimes, take a minute, take a breath. We're all going to make it through, and everything's getting better. Look at where we were 10 years ago, look where we were 5 years ago, and look at where we're at now. Future's only going to get better, but, we got to be kind of happy about it. So, it's just my 2 cents, just to follow up on this. I appreciate that we forced the hand of the company to come out and say, hey, we actually didn't do that. But, so, like, okay. But will we get a retraction from all the angry voices? No, we're probably going to get something like, well, see, we did our job. And it's like, man, did you? So just, let's just keep doing the things that we love to do, guys, and be happy about it. And trust me, it will work out, and it will be fine. And, we as a community are creating and propelling ourselves towards the future. And, I know it's not all unicorns and rainbows, but we got to strive to try and make it that way. So, just keep on keeping on. Keep showing me all the cool things that you're inventing. Keep showing me all the stuff that you're 3D printing. And, keep showing all the new innovations that's coming out there. I know it makes me super excited about all the possibilities out there, and I use it every day. I use all of that equipment to make all the cool things. And I'm really excited to see where it comes from, or comes to where we're going. So it's a positive road. We'll get there. But let's do it with some aplomb. All right. Well, I'm Pape. Remember to work smarter, not harder. Okay? And just take a breath. We're all gonna be okay. I promise. All right. Until next time, see you around.